and they'd soon found that this little treat was the only way to placate him. When their tasks were completed, John said, "Come on, I'm flipping freezing, and we'd best be off. Mum won't be happy if we're late for dinner." Millie gave Samson another affectionate pat before they left, and approaching the gate she looked the other way as they passed the two men again, relieved when this time they made no derogatory comments. Once outside the depot she hooked an arm through John's, slowing his stride. She was determined to bring up the subject again, a subject he always skirted. "John, you said that one day you'd explain to me why Dad acts the way he does." "Oh, not this again. For Christ's sake, Millie. It ain't so bad. And anyway, I don't think you're old enough to understand yet." "Of course I am. Oh, for goodness sake, I leave school at Easter." "I don't know why you have to harp on about it. All right, we have to be careful, because if we're not, it's Mum that has to put up with his moods. But Dad's never laid a hand on us, and you've seen the way Billy Benson belts his kids. How would you fancy him as a father?" "I wouldn't. He's a brute. But I still don't understand. She's our mother, for God's sake, and why shouldn't she cuddle us?" "We're too big for all that now. So why don't you just forget it?" "I can't, John. Have you forgotten what it was like when you were a little boy? Dad would fly into a temper if you so much as sat on Mum's lap." "Of course I haven't forgotten. But we've survived, ain't we?" "Stop saying ain't, or Mum will have your guts for garters. Anyway, I know we've survived, but I still need to understand why she can't even give us a hug." Her brother's breath came out in a long sigh. "It's a bit hard to explain." Millie tugged on John's arm, and as he drew to a halt she said, "Please try." "All right. If it's the only way I'm going to get any peace, I'll do my best." And scratching his chin as though to gather his thoughts, he then said, "Dad loves Mum, loves her to the point of obsession. He behaves the way he does because he's jealous when she shows us any affection." "Jealous?" she cried in amazement. "How can he be jealous of his own children?" "I don't know. His love is warped in some way, but don't ask me to explain why, because I can't." "He must be balmy. How can you say he loves her when she's not allowed to touch her own children? God, when I think of the tantrum she's had to put up with." "Don't exaggerate. All right, when Dad's in a mood, he can be murder. But all we have to do is keep away from Mum when he's around." "Oh, and that's supposed to make it all right, is it?" Millie snapped, bristling with indignation. "I can't believe you're defending him." "I'm not defending him. It sounds as if you are to me. As soon as you started working with Dad, you changed your tune, and now you two are as thick as thieves." Anger increased her pace, and as they turned into Harmon Street, John grabbed her arm. "Calm down, Millie. Dad isn't so bad. And when we're out on the round, he's like a different person. In fact, we often have a good laugh." "Well, all I can say is you're lucky, because I've never seen that side of him. Laugh? When was the last time he laughed when I'm around?" "Look, that's enough now. Mum will know something's wrong if you go indoors with that expression on your face." Millie glared at her brother, but as they reached number 10 she fought to gain her composure. John was right, and the last thing she wanted was to upset her mother. She watched now as her brother put the key in the lock, and bracing herself, followed him indoors. Eileen Pratchett heard the kitchen door open, and despite having her back to them, she knew it was the children. Embarrassed, she tried to pull herself out of her husband's embrace, but Alfie Pratchett held on, staring at Millie and John over his wife's shoulder, with a look of triumph in his eyes. "Come on, Alfie. Let me go," she gently admonished. "Why'd you pull away from me just 'cause the kids had come in?" he snapped, his face suffusing with colour. "I was only giving you a cuddle, for God's sake. Anybody would think I had you on the floor the way you're carrying on." "Shush, dear," Eileen said, her own face flushing, and recognising the signs of an imminent tantrum, she tried to defuse the situation. "Of course you can cuddle me. It's just that I need to go to the lavvy," she whispered. Alfie released her abruptly, and giving him a quick conciliatory smile, she hurried from the room. On reaching the tiny upstairs bathroom, Eileen closed the door, her stomach jumping with nerves. God,